Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. I know. All right, cool. Let me see if this one is closer. All right, thanks everyone. And my name is Chris, and I'm part of the product management team at Apprenda. And I'm going to talk today about continuous delivery. So, is anyone here familiar with Apprenda and what they do? I can kind of jump into a brief overview of what we do and what we sell to our customers. I mean, maybe it's best that we do a brief overview. So, Apprenda is what's called Enterprise Platform as a Service. So typically we're a software layer that will stitch together an enterprise's Linux and Windows VMs and be able to abstract infrastructure from the applications, making it a lot easier for developers to deploy their apps. Typically in an enterprise organization, you'll have a period of time, sometimes it's weeks, sometimes it's months, where a developer will try to get VMs, and they will call system admins, they'll call database admins, they'll call network admins. That process is a lot of human effort, and what we've done is actually simplify that process to go from months to minutes. So what you'll see here is we have policy engines that dictate where these deployments get, where these applications get deployed, as well as all these other nice features that you would expect developers that don't have to code for anymore. So centralized logging, scalability, and so forth. It provides a really nice modernization for existing applications, specifically .NET Java, but we also offer features for cloud native, and we're actually moving towards a Kubernetes architecture going forward. But I know that's not why you're here, so I want to just kind of talk about hybrid applications in modern cloud. Enterprises are really looking at AWS, looking at Bluemix, looking at other types of public cloud providers and the components that they offer. And typically, why would I want to have a particular app live somewhere outside of my data center? There's good reasons for this. You know, if you think of components like Watson, or you think of Twilio, or other types of messaging or other components that are available, you know, your existing applications may need to live, you know, in a public cloud, so you don't have to worry about latency or, you know, other geo-redundancy reasons. Public cloud solves a lot of these problems at a fraction of the cost that you would have to do within your enterprise. But why don't all apps go there? And there's good reasons for that too. You know, your golden sources of data, your golden copies, you don't want those out in the public. Typically, security organizations will look at you and say, that's not leaving. If I can't see the server, I don't have control over it. I want that data to remain. So there's still applications that will still need to live within the confines of a data center. So this is where this hybrid app use case comes into play. And you know, you have to worry about the consumerization of both public cloud and your enterprise services. So again, how do we make these components work together? This is another complex problem. So if you think of two developer teams that are, one's working on a Bluemix application, one's working on an Apprenda application, you know, orchestrating those teams to work together for a hybrid application is difficult, because you don't want developer A sending your credentials in an Excel spreadsheet over email to developer B so they can orchestrate the deployments. That's just a bunch of security red flags that an enterprise organization is not going to like. So one of the let me just jump here. So what UrbanCode Deploy allows you to do is actually able to orchestrate those deployments. What we've actually built is an integration to actually help facilitate those hybrid app deployment use cases, where you may have cloud native or bleeding edge technology that you want to put out to your customer base, but you still have golden copy legacy applications that need to remain behind the confines of your firewall and need to still be stable and have, you know, production support behind that. So what we've done is built this integration that, and we'll show this today with the demo, that shows how we can push lower risk applications to Bluemix and keeping your core legacy applications still able to communicate with those and modernize, but within the confines of Apprenda. So I'm going to walk quickly through the use case so you get it. So this is my joke retail application I call Apprendazon. And this is what's going to live in Bluemix It's a Python Flask application, so something that would be kind of thought of as cloud native, or being a different developer team in the enterprise. And then we have this corporate portal, which is, as you will see, looks kind of run down and old. Just got bootstrapped in a sense. So but it's meant, and it's functional, it's stable, it's something that is still has been running maybe for years, and is just still being maintained, but kind of in a maintenance mode. And what you'll see here is that why did we move the e-commerce app to Bluemix? There's a lot of neat things here. So maybe the virtual tailor is an actual Watson dialogue service where you have an automated bot that you're chatting with saying, what size suit do you need? May I recommend these kind of products, and so forth. Other things such as once you've placed an order, we're sending off to Twilio to send a text message that you're going to get a nice experience on your mobile device or another connected device. So there's reasons why these apps move to public cloud, because a lot of these components are already facilitated and ready to be used. But at the same time, how do we track all of our golden data? So, order numbers, purchase amounts, customer names, these are things that I don't want in the public cloud. So this is how do we marry these two together? So what you'll see here is that our e-commerce front end is going to reside in Bluemix, and we have two binding services to Twilio and Watson Dialog. And then what we're going to have is our .NET Web API sales portal that's going to be connected to our golden source SQL Server database behind the scenes, as well as being available via API to other upstream and downstream services in that corporate portal. So I'm going to stop here and just jump to the demo really quick so you can get a kind of a good grasp of how this works. Bear with me 1 minute. Okay. So here's our apps that are actually running. I'm going to jump to UrbanCode. How is that? Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, so this is IBM UrbanCode deploy, and what you have here is our application, and I'm going to jump to our hybrid application. And as you can see here, there's two components. There's our Bluemix Flask application and our Apprenda.NET application. Each of them have their own processes. So developer team 1 is working on Bluemix Flask. This is actually a GitLab commit that's within their organization. And developer team 2 is using the .NET application, which is actually a build artifact from a Team City build. So one of the value you can see here from UrbanCode is that you can take two disparate teams and two disparate processes and bring them together and orchestrate them, so on a Thursday, Friday night when you're deploying this, it's all done in concert. So what I'm going to do here is talk about the automation plugin that we built. So there's several steps. As you can see, that's actually a little, let me zoom in more here. That's better. So these are the steps that we've built so far, and we're continuing to build more that interact with both Apprenda and with Bluemix. So the automation plugin has the ability to go out and does all the CF calls to Bluemix to create services, add components, deploy applications, and so forth, and also deploy to Apprenda and manage some of the Apprenda lifecycle instances such as scaling. What we've also done, and what's key here, is the two on the top, which is add Bluemix component to Apprenda application and add Apprenda component to Bluemix application. So what this does is it enables bidirectional communication between the two apps by being able to swap in configurations after these deployments have already happened. So if I deploy my Bluemix application first and I get back, a URL or an endpoint, and I want to bind it to my Apprenda app before I deploy, this step will take care of that for you. It'll get all the correct information and perform the deployment. And just to give you an idea, and let me zoom out here really quick so you can see the full picture. A typical component process will go through and we'll have, okay, still good? Okay. This will have all the properties here and how you set up this deployment. What I'll do next is just kind of kick this off so you can see it actually happen in real time. So let's just imagine the scenario. It's Thursday night, and I'm ready to kick off my deployment. I'm going to click on Deploy App, choose versions, and I'm here just picking the latest available. It's actually just going to redeploy the application for now, but you'll see, there we go. So I've kicked that off. So what's happening here, and we're going to see that the Bluemix application is actually going to get launched first. So we're going to have this restart. And you'll see this actually being updated in real time. Give it a minute here. So this activity log will get updated. And then what we'll see also is that our, this is the Apprenda environment. So we're here at V7, so what should happen is that we're going to actually publish a new version of this app, and we should see V8 created by UrbanCode. Also, we have 3 instances of this application running, so we have a scaling at the end. So we're going to scale this to 3 instances as well. So after we redeploy, we're actually going to be able to set the scaling so we can accept the proper incoming traffic. So the Bluemix piece takes about a minute. The Apprenda piece takes about another minute. Any questions or anything? Any so far? I think we might be able to see it happening. Yep. So right here we've restarted the application and redeployed it. So it's fairly small, but as you can see, you have the Twilio and the Watson dialog services already bound to it. Okay, we're almost there. All right, so our Bluemix app has finished. So what's now happening is that it's going in and kicking off the Apprenda application. So as you see here, these are the component processes as well behind the scenes. So and this is kind of a typical deployment workflow that we have here that's been put into build steps. So we're creating the zip file, now we're actually deploying to Apprenda. But as you can see there, since we've deployed the Bluemix application first, we have a step in there that's adding the Bluemix component to the Apprenda application before it's deployed. So that configuration management step is already being taken care of. Takes just about a minute. So, any questions or anything? Let me see here. All right, just give it a minute to finish up. As you can see here, this is just kind of a smaller use case, but something that in enterprises that we've seen, especially with UrbanCode deploy customers, this is a big use case where they are starting to explore public cloud. They don't know exactly what applications they want to put there, and we've been using this as a guide to say, whatever you want to push to public cloud, if you still want to remain connected to your data center, there's ways of doing this, and there's ways of automating these deployments and making it seamless. So with that, we're almost there. Okay, so we've actually deployed to Apprenda. So if we go into here and let me reset. There we go. So Apprenda's reloading here so we can get the application. And let's see if the scaling piece finished. And it did. So our deployment was complete. Took about 4 minutes, give or take. Now, typically, and based on my personal experience, this is an hour-long process or hours of process because there's a lot of manual hand-holding putting these deployments together, and usually you're doing it at night, so you're miserable already. So this is something that, by having these kinds of automated features put into your deployment phase, this is how you can ensure continuous delivery. And I'll go here to my scaling. And my root component is at 3 instances. So now we've gone and done a full refresh, and we're on version V8 here, created by UrbanCode. And that's it. Any questions? Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for being a great host. I hope this was informative. If you guys have any questions, I'll be here for a little bit. We can talk Apprenda, can talk about continuous delivery, whatever you like. All right? Thank you.